All right, and with us right now, we've got Cyril Mukharzel, who is the co-founder and CEO of LifeDNA. Cyril, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Josh.
All right, I am so excited to have you on because I kid you not, for the person who is listening or watching this right now, your life is about to be rocked. Like in a way, like your life will forever be impacted based on what you're about to learn, and especially if you take action on what you're about to learn. And Sarah, what we're going to talk about is what we can do today with DNA testing and how we can use this information and we can make smarter decisions. We can make health, diet and eating, lifestyle changes, and it can significantly improve the quality of our life. And so when I found out about LifeDNA, I was so intrigued. I did my research and I thought, oh my gosh, like this could really be a game changer. So my beautiful wife and I, we actually went through and we had already done our DNA test. By the way, I don't mind me kind of going on and on about this story here, Cyril. I know you're here with us, and I know your time is very valuable. But I just want to lay some groundwork, just so the person who's listening to this conversation knows why I am so enthusiastic about this. So my wife and I had already done our DNA test through Ancestry, and that was pretty cool. Like we found some really good information, but then it's kind of like, okay, well, now what? And then it came across LifeDNA. And if you've done your DNA test with another company, there's actually so much more you can find out, because when you do your DNA with one of these other companies, you can actually download your raw DNA file and you can actually submit it securely into LifeDNA system. And then, oh mama, like the whole world opens up in terms of like other things that science can reveal based on your genetic markers and your DNA. And so, Cyril, like, I just wanted to kind of just lay that groundwork and let the lovely woman or man know who's listening to this conversation right now. My wife and I learned so much about ourselves, and it was really such an amazing experience. So first off, I just want to say thank you for creating LifeDNA, or co-creating, or however you were involved at the beginning. And then also, thank you so much for coming on and sharing and kind of taking the conversation over from where I left off here, and kind of explaining exactly what LifeDNA does and exactly why I am probably so enthusiastic.
Absolutely, Josh. So what we do here at LifeDNA is we do a DNA test, and then we analyze your DNA for specific markers that can have a big impact on your health and wellness. From there, we take that information and we create health, fitness, nutrition reports with specific recommendations that you can do immediately to your lifestyle in order to start improving your health and wellness. And on top of that, we create meal plans, fitness plans, and even personalized supplements for people based on that information, DNA personalized meal plans, fitness plans, supplements, so that people can start improving their health and wellness immediately. And our mission is to inspire people to use the power of their DNA so that they can live healthier, more fulfilling, and better lives.
Yeah. Cyril, there's a lot of advice out there in terms of how we should eat, what we should eat, when we should eat, how much we should eat, what time of day we should eat. There's a lot of information about how to exercise, when to exercise, what kind of exercise. It's very confusing. And wouldn't it be awesome? Talk about it. Here's a softball for you. Wouldn't it be awesome if there was a way, because we're all a little bit different, wouldn't it be great if we could get into the the foundation of who we are as an individual and use the latest science, not pseudoscience, but legit science, and find out exactly, what activity we should be doing, what we should be eating, when we should be eating it, etc. Wouldn't it be awesome if there was a way to figure that out?
That's right, and there is, Josh. That's the beauty of it. And what's really important to understand is your DNA is essentially the blueprint of your life, right? Your DNA is what builds you. So who you are today is a combination of your genetics, your environment, and your lifestyle. So when you're taking advice and you're taking a look at various different diets and exercises that are existing out there, the reality is that they don't take into account your DNA, maybe sometimes your lifestyle and your environment, but the most important piece, which is the blueprint of your life, is not being taken into consideration. And that's really what we focus on here at LifeDNA, is we take a combination of your genetics, your lifestyle, and your environment to make those informed, well-informed, and personalized recommendations to help you improve your health and wellness. It just eliminates all those choices that you have to make, because at the end of the day, these recommendations are customized and personalized specifically to you, right? And that's what's really important, and that's what makes LifeDNA so helpful, and a solution that can really be great for everybody.
There are a lot of fads that come and go. There are a lot of people that, will jump on social media and say, I ate keto and intermittent fasting and I lost 20 pounds. And that's wonderful for that person. And I happen to like eating more of a keto lifestyle and trying. It works for me personally in terms of lifestyle, but it was really great to back that up with some science. So can you kind of take someone through exactly when by the way, we've set up a coupon code because every guest on this show comes bearing gifts, and Cyril, you have as well. So let's just start off by making sure that people know, because we're going to be talking about LifeDNA. We're going to talk about exactly what it does and kind of get you to envision what this process would be like when you enroll. But there's a coupon code, and that coupon code is 30% off LifeDNA services. And you use that coupon code is ANGEL, ANGEL. So no matter what whatever test, whether you already have your DNA because you've already done it, or you need to have LifeDNA run it for you, you guys can do that, no problem. You can get 30% off with the code ANGEL. So when somebody goes to LifeDNA and they use that coupon code, can you kind of explain what happens next?
Right, absolutely. So if they already have a DNA test, all they have to do is download the raw data, upload it into our system, and then immediately our algorithm gets to work, and then we generate the reports for them, right away. So it happens within a few minutes.
Yeah, that's the thing. You don't have to wait months to get
exactly.
Yeah, if you've got the raw DNA file, you just submit it, and bam, you instantly get all this information. That blew me away. I honestly thought I was going to have to wait a few weeks.
Yeah, you've already waited for the test itself. We don't want to make you wait again. So that's that one. If you don't have a test already and you'd like to get tested, then that's not a problem. So as soon as you've used the coupon code, you purchased, you receive a DNA test kit in the mail. It comes within a day, 2 days of the purchase, and then all you have to do is swab your cheeks, send that kit back to us, and then you'll get your results in about 2 weeks and a half or so. As soon as the results come in, you get an email, and you will have access to all your reports. And in that email as well, you'll have the ability to book a consultation with one of our LifeDNA experts that can go ahead and walk you through the reports, explain to you exactly what you're seeing in there and why. And that way you have the full and complete picture of your reports. Now, if you wanted to add on meal plans and fitness plans and supplements, that's really up to you. And you have the ability to do that on our dashboard. So on our dashboard, you'll see all of your reports, but you'll also see other add-ons that you might want to put on as well to your account.
Yeah, so I'm actually logged in right now, and I'm wondering if you could kind of explain the dashboard and go through, just maybe list off some of the more popular areas that you are now going to have insight into. Because this is, I think once people understand all the information that they're going to be able to have, this is where you get LifeDNA gets really exciting.
Right, absolutely. And some of the biggest things. So I'll break down each report separately. So we have a nutrition report, and this one focuses on your nutrition, essentially. And some of the most important traits on there are, for example, your carbohydrate sensitivity. Are you sensitive to carbs more than most people? Your sensitivity to saturated fat. And again, those two are really, really important when we come to create a diet for you, because like the ketogenic diet, if you're sensitive to fats, it makes no sense for you to be on that diet, right? So those are some important things we have in there. Celiac predisposition, your sensitivity to caffeine. Are you a fast metabolizer of caffeine, slow? Your salt sensitivity, lactose intolerance, sugar preference. How likely are you to eat between meals, which can potentially cause obesity or just weight gain in general? Even things like your alcohol addiction, and various needs such as magnesium need, calcium need, iron need, etc., omega-3 needs. So are you most likely to need those specific nutrients than other people? And then that's a nutrition report. We have the fitness report, and that's really focused on your body, exercises, and the fitness. And some of the most important traits in there are your training intensity response. So are you, do you respond better to power based exercises or endurance-based exercises,
Yeah.
right? Your post-exercise recovery rate. So do you recover faster than most people? Do you recover normally, or are you slower? Your injury predisposition. Are you more prone to injury after exercise or not? Even your chances or your risks of getting a heart attack while exercising. That's also in there as well. How you respond to exercise is in there. Your pain tolerance, your motivation to exercise. There's a ton of information that can be found in the fitness report. And then the third report we have is the health and personality report, is what we call it. And in there, you'll find some pretty cool information, like your, you have the forever gene, is what we call it. This is the longevity gene. So are you, do you have a higher chance of living up to 100 or more? Do you, what type of foods are you more likely to like? There's also physical traits, right? So the eyes, you have the waist to hip ratio. So a lot of information in there that's a little bit more fun to use, but the nutrition and fitness are, I would say, the most useful information that you can find in there.
Yeah. And so then having access to this information. So for example, like I went through and so I just watched a documentary on Netflix, in fact, called, Why Are We So Fat? It was a British documentary, and they were talking about two genetic markers that if you have these genetic markers, it impacts your appetite. So you want to eat more
Right.
and your satiety. And so imagine now me watching this and go, oh my gosh, I wonder if I've got these markers. And I logged into LifeDNA and I instantly saw, oh no, I don't. So it's good to know that. And that's, part of the information that, that you get this portfolio of information. But I think it's, it's the action you take now based on this information. Can you kind of share maybe what someone should or could do with this information, and talk about in terms of, like, I just tell you, for example, like if you should be doing more power-based fitness and you've just been going out and, well, I just go for walks around the block and that's my workout routine. That's a lot of time that you can invest. There's nothing wrong with walking, but maybe you're not getting all the benefit that someone else might get. And having this information, now gosh, if you were to just, you tell me, Cyril, like I had my meeting with Peter, the DNA expert, and so did my wife. And I'll tell you too, that was really, really helpful, because it's one thing to have this information. It's another thing to have an expert who says, look, I listen to a lot of DNA reports. I go through a lot of this stuff. I study this stuff, and I can tell you that this is something that you probably want to pay attention to based on the hundreds of other people I've talked with who show this marker or don't show this marker.
Right.
But can you talk kind of next steps about what are the action steps you do with this information?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll walk through both on the nutrition side and the fitness side. So when we create meal plans and fitness plans for our users, it's really important to pick a combination of the various traits that we identify and use that. For example, if we identify that somebody has a carbohydrate sensitivity, right, then it's really going to be important for us to watch out in terms of how much carbs and grams of carbohydrates they should be eating every single day, right? It's going to impact their macros for their meal plans on a high level. Same with the fat sensitivity, for example. If you have a fat sensitivity and you also have, let's say, a salt sensitivity, then you can start to understand that maybe you should be reducing your amount of salt in foods and also not eat as much fat as a normal person would be eating, or somebody without that particular sensitivity would be eating. So we've actually developed an algorithm that takes a look at those particular traits and then comes up with certain grams of each particular type of food. So carbs, fat, and protein, and break that down based on your genetics. And same thing with as well with the how much salt you should be eating, how much sugar you should be eating, and even certain vitamins that you might be wanting to take or not. Now, when it comes to the fitness plan, so when you take a look at your report, you're definitely going to start to understand how your DNA impacts your exercise. And if you notice that you are more power-based versus endurance-based, that's going to have an impact on the type of exercises that you should be doing. For example,
Right.
Power-based exercises, like for example, bench pressing, right? If your DNA is essentially showing that power-based exercises work best for you, then it's a lot easier to start to take that and then understand what exercises you should be focused on, like bench pressing, like squatting, and weightlifting in general, versus somebody that just runs and does cardio on a regular basis, right? So what we do when it comes to the fitness is we take a look at all of those traits, and then it's going to have an impact on the type of exercises that we recommend to our users, the number of sets that they should be doing, how long they should be working out in the gym or outside of the gym, how long they should be resting in between workouts, in between sets, and in between exercises, right? Yep. Because there is the injury predisposition trait in there. There's also the recovery time in there as well. And we also take a look at even how many reps of each exercise they should be doing. And all of that, we combine all of that together to create just essentially a fully customized fitness and meal plan. So all of that information that you see in there is actionable information. You take a look, you see, okay, I'm more sensitive to fats. I'm not going to go on the ketogenic diet, even if my friend said it's amazing, because maybe my friend is not sensitive to fats, right? They're sensitive to carbs. So that's just a quick overview of how we actually take that information and then end up building something customized and personalized for people.
Over the past 5 to 10 years, it seems like we've learned so much. We've come so far in genetic testing and then making that much more mainstream. So, it's really exciting where we are today, but I can't even imagine where we're going to be 5 to 10 years from now. And so I would imagine you guys are probably trying to play futurist right now, or maybe you have a roadmap of knowing what else LifeDNA is going to be able to do. But would you be willing to share some of that?
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right, Josh. The completion of the Human Genome Project in 2003 really kicked off this whole personal DNA and personal genomics market. And first, the DNA testing just got significantly cheaper than what it was before. Now people can actually start to afford that. Second is the science is just getting better and better every single day. There are more studies being done on DNA. We're starting to understand different SNPs and different portions of your DNA and how they impact your health and wellness. And people are just getting more educated. There are millions of people every single year getting their DNA tested. So it's really exciting. And as for LifeDNA, what we're looking to do is we want to get DNA testing and just the DNA data in general to in the hands of doctors, right? So if you go to your physician or your family doctor, they know about your family history and your medical history, but they have no idea about your genetics. They know not even a single thing about your DNA. And that's extremely, extremely important. Once they start to understand you, the patient, on a genetic level, they can start to make more informed and smarter decisions about your health and wellness, because your DNA also impacts, obviously which diseases you're at risk for. It also impacts which drugs might be affecting you in a positive or a negative way. And that's extremely valuable for doctors to have that information. So we're looking to move into more of a medical space moving forward as well, as we build this company.
Oh, well, it's really exciting, Cyril. Thank you so much. Like I said, this is one of those services that the impact of my investment is just enormous. And, to be able to have knowledge as to what's going on in my blueprint, and then be able to make so many different lifestyle choices based on having access to that knowledge. I mean, I can tell you that both my wife and I have made changes or we're just more conscious of, oh, hey, need to be aware of carb sensitivity or fat, whatever it is, our style of exercise. I very consciously have done less steady state exercising, just kind of going on plodding along, and more trying to make sure that, I go and just lift weights and just more power moves. And I know, that absolutely matches up with some suspicions I had previously. So I'm really excited to hear all of the other stories that their Savings Angel audience is going to have as they discover what they've got going on inside of them. And so the coupon code that you want to use is ANGEL. That's ANGEL. And just go to LifeDNA.com. Use that coupon code when you check out. You get 30% off your DNA test. It's not that expensive. It's very, very reasonable. Just again, simply because of this kind of testing being available. And I think what's really cool again is you're not just going to get the results, but you're actually going to get a session with a DNA expert who's going to explain everything to you. And that's one thing that I really loved about LifeDNA is that I felt like I was able to set a lot of good action items as a result of that, and thereby really benefiting from the information. So Cyril Mukharzel, you're the CEO and co-founder of LifeDNA. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Josh. It's been an absolute pleasure.